because this is a subject I can talk all day about, and I'm about across the country now. So as I'm landing in LAX, I just want to say one thing. It was 61 degrees. It was 61 degrees when I took off in Charlotte. It was 96 degrees when I landed in LA, and I was sweating. I'm talking about legit, as soon as I get off the plane, sweating. With a hoodie on. Not only that, I had a 40-minute layover on the other side of the airport. I legit had to walk a mile. So I landed LAX, I have a 40-minute layover to get on a plane to San Francisco. I landed LAX and I'm on this, I think, American ticket. I think I'm doubling up. My next flight is American. It's actually this company called American Eagle. Not the clothing company, Abercrombie face ass niggas. The actual airline called American Eagle. I think I'm on American and I see it's American Eagle. So I'm like, hey, where's American Eagle? Well, this gate 52J or something. So I'm looking for 52J, and I mean, it skips over. It's like 52H and then like 52K over here. I'm like, hold on. And I'm walking between H and K. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I got a layover, and this is after I have trudged a whole mile across this damn airport. So I'm talking about, I've walked at least a mile from the plane, booking it. Get to the gate. These people are telling me, oh, it's that way. Oh, it's that way. I'm like, nah, y'all not about to do this to me. Y'all not about to do this to me. If H is over here and K is over here, where the hell is J? Or whatever the gate was. I can't remember at the time. Oh, well, you have to go downstairs and down a hallway and cross the tarmac and get on a damn golf cart and catch a shuttle to another airport that's on the freaking runway. So that's what I did. Golf cart, shuttle, stairs, golf cart, shuttle, airport. I get to the airport, it's like literally like on the runway, okay? It's not like connected to the airport. I get on the airplane about 2 minutes before it's scheduled to take off, and it was not a problem because I just walked up there. They're like, oh, that's you, cool. No TSA, no line, none of that. So I get on this plane to board to San Francisco. So this wasn't a very long flight. It wasn't like flying across the country. But the really cool thing was the flight from LA to San Fran was gorgeous because now I'm seeing the California coastline, which is mountainous, which is Rockies, which is rocky shores. So now I'm seeing the California coastline, which looks totally different than an East Coast shoreline. Most East Coasters know that the shores are just sandy. Sometimes you'll get like sand dunes, which are large hills of sand. But in general, most of the East Coast shorelines are not rocky, especially once you get into the Southeast. I believe the shores get rockier the further north you go, north of New England. However, when you're down here, the shores are not rocky at all. However, when you're in the South, Southeast, anything south basically of New York, you're not gonna have any rocky shoreline. So one of the more beautiful sights to me was just flying over the Pacific in between the ocean and the shoreline, so you can really see the terrain. You can see how gorgeous the land looks from afar. It's a view that you can't really see flying over the land. So I really did enjoy taking that spectacle in. The flight from LA to San Francisco was a beautiful flight. I recommend anybody take it, and make sure you get the side that the land is on. Because if you're on the other side, all you're gonna see is the ocean. But you wanna see the ocean, the beach, and the mountains, make sure you're on the shoreline side of the airplane, or you'll just be peeking over the neighbor's seat all the time, which is something I did because I didn't get a window seat on that flight. So I was peeking, and it was nice. It was still nice. It was a gorgeous flight. So I definitely recommend anyone to take that flight. And of course, on the way back, we made that drive down. Some crazy shit watching two planes land simultaneously. Look at this shit. There's no margin for error out here, guys. By the way, that's San Francisco. That's Oakland. Hashtag Earth is flat. So I'm landing in San Francisco, and honestly, it's just gorgeous. Beautiful day. And one of the more trippy things about landing in San Francisco is that the airport is literally right off the water, and the runway is hella short, right? So not only are you landing what looks like right in the middle of the water, as soon as you land, and I mean as soon as you land, like you've been on the runway for less than 1 minute total, there is another airplane as you are turning, because the runway is really short, there's another airplane barreling down right behind you. That if their brakes don't work, it's about to be a disaster, because that airplane is gonna hit your airplane and you're gonna hit the building. It's a whole thing over there. So that was pretty, I had never flown into San Francisco. I'd never flown into an airport that had such a short runway. And it was extremely busy considering the runway was so short, and literally planes were landing either simultaneously or one after the other. So when this plane lands, we've been on the ground for less than 1 minute, and the airplane is already turning to go wherever it needs to go to drop us off, and you can just see another plane like right behind you. Most of the time, you just land, go to your terminal, and other planes land on other runways. Other planes land at different times. But this was so unusual to me because I had never been on a runway that felt like it was maybe 100 yards long. Like, that's how long the runway feels like it is in San Francisco. It's like you land and immediately you have to turn. And before you even turn, there's another airplane on your butt. So that was pretty weird. So I land in San Francisco. It was cool because I had a couple of days before I was supposed to link up with my brother and go to the nature, and I needed to work. So the first couple of days I'm out there, I'm literally just working on the smartest beast in the field. I'm staying in San Francisco. Every once in a while, I'll go out, check out the planes, check out the scenery. I was at a hotel that was right by the airport on the other side of the water, so I could literally look across the water and see the planes land, which was really cool. So, you know, I spent a lot of time out there in between working and editing, because at that point I was just editing. I wasn't writing anymore, but I was preparing for Lost at Home as well. So there were times I would just sit out there and watch the airplanes land, get a little puff time in. Burning the late night oil, I'm on my occupational toil. Hell no, nigga. It's like 8 videos. Took me a week to get that shit. Yeah, so when I landed in San Francisco, I was basically tied up for the first 3 days, just finishing the finale of The Smartest Beast, of which I'm still working on because I extended the finale. So at that point, I had finished The Smartest Beast and I had started working on Lost at Home. Listen, I want to set the record straight. This new Kanye shit, DT already did that shit without Jesus with hotter fucking samples. So,
well, it's the same sample.
But I'm saying your shit sound better though.
I like my beat better, yeah. But yeah, I'm more upset about the fact that I'm not ever gonna get
Kanye, you're not the first.
for finding this shit.
Right. So what happens is when you hear the Day Tripper beat, he already used that sample. So my brother Day Tripper comes to scoop me up on Sunday. But before we head out to nature, because the plan is we're gonna head out to the El Dorado National Forest, and we're gonna spend about a week out there. And before we go out there, we just wanted to hang out in the town for the night. So my brother comes to scoop me up. We just hang out in San Francisco. We ride around the city. We kind of take in the night sights. We go to Twin Peaks just to get the overall view of the city. One thing I did notice, it was cold as hell in the Bay Area that weekend. It was really no different than the temperature on the East Coast, except for the air is so dry in the West, it penetrates your clothing. So it's a little bit different than the cold in the East. It still has a little more humidity. That cold kind of sits on you. So I stood outside for a little bit, taking in this sight, and I had to get my ass back in the car because it was way too cold. So the next day, we're on the road, headed from the Bay Area straight across the state into the area of El Dorado National Forest. We finally get out to the spot that we're supposed to stay. Now we're staying out here for a week. We're in the mountains, but we're not technically camping. We're just way out in the mountains.
Way out in the mountains. Way